Oh, yes, how old are you, if I may ask?
44.
44.
44, yes.
What are you going to talk about next? Learning.
The super scale of the future. Okay, and I will regret that I didn't meet you earlier. Have fun, thank you very much.
Welcome. Hi, everyone. My mother would be so proud of me. Marcus Lantz introduced me on stage. Honestly, I've done it. I've achieved everything. No, honestly, the best thing I can do is talk about my journey for the past 25 years in learning and teaching, and give you the skills and the tools so that you leave such conferences and actually do something, learn something. Why are you here? First tip, if you're taking notes, do it now. Everyone who takes notes and keeps doing so for the next 12 to 18 months will be safe. This is Imart Mustache. He is a mathematician, former hedge fund manager, then built up Stability AI, an AI company. And last year his book came out, The Last Economy. He's saying that we have 1,000 days, and in these 1,000 days everything will change. AI will change everything. Why am I here? This is, I guess you all know him, Demis Hassabis. He is at the forefront of the Google AI team. He founded DeepMind, which was acquired by Google, and he's saying,
don't overlook the basics, since you need the fundamentals. Also, I think it's important to teach meta skills, like learning how to learn. The only thing we know for sure is there will be a lot of change in the next 10 years.
There will be a lot of change. And he is saying learning to learn is the thing. And everyone right now, I mean, I've been talking about AI for 10 years now, and finally now it's cool. But it's nothing new. So you have to be aware of what is happening in this world. You have to learn about this. Who am I? This is me. This is the picture a mother sent me. Do you see the pi, the sign? It's not the Superman sign, it's the pi sign. It's a mathematician sign with a letter. Daniel, I was trying to teach my kids. I couldn't do anything anymore. Then I found you, and together we had fun. Daniel Jung saved more S's from a university campus. How could that happen? I'll tell you about my journey. I started with classic on-site learning. That was from 2000 to 2010. It was all analog, nothing digital, just pencils and paper. I was doing math classes day in and day out. And that was when digitization started to emerge. People were asking, how can we digitize education? What can we do? And I said, true innovation is about combining things to create something new. So I was thinking about how you could digitize what you do day in and day out. Who knows this guy on the left? Not so much. This is Dr. Eberhard Weiss. He was the first Daniel Jung, the first Lero Schmidt, the first star. He is at the forefront of mathematicians for Telekulik, the TV series. By the end of the 60s, we had Telekulik. I was watching Telekulik Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. He was teaching math. By the end of the 2000s, you couldn't keep up with him. So I was searching on the internet, came across MIT, Stanford, famous universities, and in the middle was Dr. Gilbert Strang. And I found his courses on YouTube. 1 hour and a half, and he was at the board talking about mathematics. And it was so cool, so passionate, even though I wasn't in the room with him. And I thought, when MIT and Stanford are recording the classes and putting them on YouTube, this can't be wrong. And I thought, since I had been teaching mathematics classes for about 10 years, it's not an hour and a half, it should be around 5 minutes. Because of the questions, and we were far from artificial intelligence back then, it was, what is a fraction? What is differentiation? So I thought, I'll produce 5-minute tutorials and put them on YouTube to see what happens. And so up to now, I have 3,000 math tutorials even today on YouTube. And this is why I'm recognized everywhere by students, the man from the whiteboard who's teaching math in 5 minutes so I can understand it. I not only have the 5-minute tutorials, I turned them into classes. Like if you want to learn differential equations tonight, you can go to the differential equations playlist. You have the whole spectrum of mathematics on my channel, from 1 + 1 = 2 all the way up to complex analysis. And this is still so fundamental today with AI everywhere that you can watch videos and actually learn something. The videos I produced in 16:9, but with the upcoming smartphone trend, I had to switch a little bit to 9:16 for TikTok, for Shorts, for Reels on Instagram. Because from the feedback of the students, it's like I'm sitting on a bus and I'm scrolling and I'm doing this little thing like, oh, now I understand fractions. And the feedback is everywhere. From professors using my videos, from parents saying, my daughter said with you, I spent my whole life in the school. Above left, people who can afford really specialized teaching found me now, even in university. It's very, 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 very profound. So YouTube was a door opener back then, 2000 to 2015, 16, and 17. YouTube was the basic platform for videos. Then I thought, okay, you have to do a little bit more for the new learning ecosystem. So I did the PDFs, the scripts. I built up a platform, Matterfragen.de, where you go in even. The platform was before the rise of AI. So you can't ask Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and the others for answers. You ask the question, and a real human steps in, even up to today, and helps you, plus the videos. And by the middle of the 2010s, I was thinking, that's a lot of data you have there. So what can you do with this? And 2016, 17, 18, I got very deep into AI. Google DeepMind had AlphaGo. AlphaGo was beating Lee Sedol in Go. And if you know the game Go, which was a masterpiece and a sign that AI is now rising. Again, 2017. And it went all the way to 2022, up to ChatGPT, the iPhone moment, and I was so in the game. And I was thinking about, so what about AI? I have to do something. I was getting nervous that I missed the pass again. So I talked to people and finally get to this gentleman. This morning we had Jonas Androulis, former CEO from Aleph Alpha. This is, I mean, look at him. He's looking like James Bond. He's playing guitar on stage with AI. He has a PhD from the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. AI doesn't need a magic bullet, just real expert knowledge. So we said, let's do something in research. What could AI do to help you learn even better than what happens with YouTube alone? So we did a research study. His company was acquired by Aleph Alpha. Back then, if I remember correctly, they had a semantic AI. It was the front stage before ChatGPT and the like came out. We had a university within it. And in the first step, my videos were transcribed, and you had all the knowledge from the transcribed videos. And I couldn't chat with Claude and others, and I called the study AIDEN, Artificial Intelligence Education, because that was my intent. We built an app where you ask a question, like on YouTube, I ask a question, or on Google, I ask a question, and you get an answer. The videos were transcribed, and the black box behind it with Samantha guided you to the sequence in the videos at the right moment. Not to shorten the learning, but in this whole universe, I know every one of you is scrolling through TikTok and so on. and there's a lot of noise, and you see everything, and you just want to learn, and you just want to get to the right path. And based on the knowledge from the transcripts for my videos, and we add on the PDF material from me and the data from the platform, matusragen.de, you get a nice little ChatGPT-like explanation that gives you a hint what to do. For example, what is a fraction? You get the video sequence and the explanation. And the study, what a wonder. We tested it in an A/B study with students. The ones with this AI tutor were much better at handling new experiences when they got a new topic and got the help of Aiden. So, why is it so important? You all know about deepfakes. Who can I trust? If you go on the internet and you scroll and you see, even if you see me talking about politics or something like that, I would never talk about politics on my channels. But even now, you can't figure out if this is real or if it's AI. You have to double check it. Is it the real Daniel Young? Is it his channel? Is the channel verified? And trusted content is the next big thing. So I thought, how can I do the study in real life? And I put all my money into universities, fully digital, both founded in Germany, state recognized. And one of the two universities, the INU, is based in Cologne, where I came from, and they developed their own app specialized in teaching. And I put all my videos, all my material, all my data, everything into this app. And I mean, this is German because I'm well known in the German market. And we developed a math AI tutor. This is now me. It's a little bit like an avatar we created with AI. And this works like magic. I mean, I'm so excited about AI, what AI can do. You saw the rack system. So that's how it works. It's a real app where you go in. You have a structure where you can learn math. You have the videos. You find the videos. You can watch a video. You can prove yourself with a quiz. You can double check with some PDF material. And the best thing is, if you use the Math AI tutor, you ask a question, and when you ask a question, it's not as fast as ChatGPT because we don't have billions of dollars to train it, but it's safely trained on quality material so that you can be sure that the output is right. Here you see me now using the AI teacher in voice mode, asking what's going on, what a fraction is, and what a differential equation is. And the output is an explanation where you can be sure that it is right. And you get all the material based on exactly what I asked for, a video, a PDF, a flashcard, whatever. And for the nerds, it's a RAG system, RAG, retrieval, augmentation, generation, where you put in good quality content and use LLMs to make sure that the hallucination which comes out with these big models won't act. And AI, I mean, I'm freaking out over the past 2 years because I've been talking so long about AI, and finally now the possibilities are crazy as hell. AI is empowering personal brands. That's awesome that I have a personal brand, because this morning somebody asked, who knows Gary Vaynerchuk? Who knows Gary Vaynerchuk, the man in the middle? It's awesome. I mean, you have to check Gary Vaynerchuk. Make a note, Gary Vaynerchuk. I will give you the tools by the end. When you say, Daniel, you talked 40 minutes and I don't know anything, I can't remember anything, the tools are there. Write down Gary Vaynerchuk. It's a masterpiece of marketing worldwide, who's now talking about AI and marketing, what goes not. It's freaking me out because right now in this moment, my videos are in a dubbing phase. And I opened up just 2 weeks ago 3 international channels in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese, but it's crazy like hell. Seeing myself speaking Spanish and Portuguese, and what will happen, I don't know. But it's amazing to try to reach out now to 1 billion people, not to millions in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but to reach out to billions of people by using AI and creating new channels. It's amazing. So let me get a little bit mathy. I hope you know that I have a little bit of knowledge in mathematics. The greatest shortcoming of the human race is our inability to understand the exponential function. I mean, you spent the past 2 days and you heard a lot, and some are very crazy, and everything is changing. You heard this a lot. We heard this in every past 10, 20, 30 years, everything is changing. But what is happening right now? The exponential growth is here. What is the exponential growth? Let me give you a quick example. If you stand up and go 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, and do this 30 times 1 meter, every one of you knows where he will land. 30 meters would put you in the hall next to us or out in the front hall. On the other hand, now you go 1 meter, then you double every time. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Do this 30 times the doubling. Where do you land? Think about it very quickly. I've heard so many things. I land in Italy, I land in India. If you're curious, it's twice to the moon and back. And that's the lack of understanding what is happening right now in this freaking AI world. And to make it clear, I'm cursing a little bit, sorry for that. But if you would zoom out like to the Industrial Revolution or to the printing press, it's always the same graph. And it speeds up by the end. And we are here because the first computer around 1950 was, I don't know, 100 meters tall and could store 1 picture. The internet combined every computer. The smartphone put the computer in our pocket. Social media should have connected us all. The big social media companies used machine learning processes, what is now called AI, to keep us in the feed for a long time to sell something. And then finally, in 2022, ChatGPT came out, and it was ChatGPT because it worked. It could have been another one a year later, but this one worked so well. Oh, it could write me a text because that's why it's called the iPhone one. And think about it. What happened since November 2022 in these nearly 3 years? I mean, it's amazing. The past 2 days, Anthropic with Claude launched a new tool with 60 agents running and optimizing everything so that the costs for tokens go down 75%. Every day there is a new tool. And I know this from many conversations. It's like, I don't know, again, a new tool. How do I start? Where should I start? You have to start and you have to do the thing. Not to pass, I call it the oh shit moment, linear versus exponential. Now, believe me, now is the time to go into these tools. And I'll give you a tip later on where you should start. Besides the phone you have in your pocket and the computer you have somewhere around. So what do you have to do? Everyone should, when you leave this conference, maybe you'll party tonight, whatever. Over the weekend, you should sit down and you should deal with the learning pyramid. Everyone goes to lectures, is reading something, audiovisual, listening to me. Perhaps you're presenting something. You talk with others at these conferences. I mean, this is magic. That is why conferences are so important, even these days, to come together to talk to each other. But you have to practice these things. And ideally, you share that knowledge by explaining it. Even if you start a channel on your journey, I mean, if you go to social media and you have a new account on a new smartphone and it's only trained on all these AI things, and you just search on AI and you get everything recommended like AI, there are so many, especially young people, who are just dealing with these tools. You can learn how to implement it. And if you tell the story of how you learn this, that's even better for learning something when you explain it. Today I downloaded, I don't know, the MPC file from Claude Code, whatever. I mean, you have so much input these days, but actually doing it and learning it is the key thing. I use every stage, maybe for our parents here in the room. There is the famous 2 sigma problem from the 80s. And it's like above, right? Conventional teaching is like you go to a class, you have one teacher, you have 30 students, and if you do mastery learning, you go 1 standard deviation to the right for better results. And if you give everyone his personal teacher, we saw a 2 sigma improvement, 2 standard deviations better in test outcomes. This is the first time in human history that everyone can have his own teacher. And this is the next thing you should do. Every one of you who wants to learn should have your own teacher in your pocket. And you can build it. And if you don't know how to build it, you can learn it very easily if you go out and, I don't know, with Claude, with Grok, with Gemini, with ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Kimi, whatever tool. In the first place, it's not about the rec system and quality content, but it's very good to have this tutor to get some results every day and be taught. And now the first studies are coming out. It's a study from Harvard. I mean, it's about 6 months old or so. AI tutoring outperforms active learning, a major study from Harvard. They took a physics class with 200 students. They developed their own AI tutor for the classroom, and the results were off the charts. I mean, it's amazing. And school is changing. I could talk all night about transforming the school setting. I wrote a book about it. But it's very hard when you talk about this. What should I say? I mean, teachers are in their own world, and you have to be open to what is happening and give everyone their own tutor. There is one school in the USA, it's called Alpha School. You can look up Alpha School. The kids have 2 to 3 hours a day with their own personal tutor. The rest of the time, they're with humans again, interacting, tackling complex problems, solving things, building rockets, whatever. And those students are at the top of the test results. The world is changing quickly and it's coming. Next thing, using social media, right? I think every one of you is using TikTok, Reels, Instagram, YouTube, but for everything. So the first thing I would do is ideally get a new device. So you buy a new device, and on this device, there will only be these things I will tell you now. The first thing is to create a YouTube channel and just search for the right names, the right podcasts, the right talks. I mean, I could do many of these. If you don't know, Mugadat, former Chief Business Officer of Google X, the Chief Innovation Division of Google. If you listen to him in a podcast, in a speech, he is so smart. And it's not like AI changes everything. AI is the one goal. He talks a lot about where it can go very wrong. And if you say, yeah, this is 1 hour and a half, this is 1 hour, this is 1 hour, where do I have the time? I give you the tool at the end so you can use it and learn as much as possible from these talks so you can implement what you learn from them. Above is Mustafa Suleyman. He is the co-founder of DeepMind. You know, Demis Hassabis, who I mentioned at the beginning of my talk, now works at Microsoft AI. And I guess most of you work with Microsoft, and he is dealing with how to use a computer. We come from the age of using the computer, like typing and doing stuff, and he is just focusing on how do you use a computer. Is it voice? I don't know, but he's working on it. 2, 3, 4 talks from him. At the left, Andrew Ng, former Chief Officer of AI at Google. Co-founded Coursera, a famous platform to learn things. In the middle, Everlast AI, the best in Germany, the best. He is talking once a week, and you watch 3 or 4 of his speeches on podcast talks, and you are in the game. You actually do something. And there is Jeffrey Hinton, one of the godfathers of AI, talking to one of the best podcasters. Listen, listen, listen. That is from the learning pyramid, the first thing. But this is social learning. And again, a new device, a new social media account like YouTube, even Instagram and TikTok, and just go to these names and all about artificial intelligence. Leading platforms. I mean, you decided Udemy, Coursera. I can definitely recommend Coursera. I'm on Coursera every day learning new things. Yeah, you might wonder where I find the time. You should make use of your time. Even if you just use Coursera, a new device, you have your new social media accounts, you have Coursera, and you go in for, I don't know, machine learning or whatever, generative AI for everyone. And take the course because these are platforms where you are not distracted. For no reason. And you just have the best content in the best communities. So the printing press, this was the last very big revolution in education. The printing press made it possible that nearly everyone had access to education. Then there were some steps. TV had a chance. We all know where TV ends. The social media accounts. I remember when I was talking in 2015, 16, 17, having watched a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk back then. And he said, you have to get on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, X, etc., etc. to spread your word, to do marketing, to reach the people, because everyone is mobile and these platforms are in there. They had a great chance to teach us. And that is why I recommend that you go on a new device with new social media accounts and just to train the algorithm for these things, AI, how to use AI, how to learn about AI. Because if you're in your normal feed, I guess you will be distracted. And now, after we were on these platforms, now we are on these platforms. And I guess if you look it up, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, the first Chinese model, everyone should know. Claude, the Asian models like DeepSeek or Kimi or Qwen. I guess there will be 8 to 12 big models like we now have Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X for the social media world. This will be the top layers where you do everything. Right now it's Claude. I mean, Claude is incredible. They push new features almost every week. So how to come up with it? You have to use it. And everyone who says, do I really have to use this? It's the same as in 2015 or 2016. Do I really have to be aware of TikTok or Instagram Reels? If you are in business, if you want to do business, if you, I don't know, whatever you do, these are the top layers. And now I'm learning by consciously engaging with AI. You have to actually use and try these tools. Mugadat says, normally he starts with a problem and then he goes to Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, DeepSeek Asian model, Qwen Asian model, Kimi Asian model, because they are trained differently. And then he is finally comparing this outcome with that outcome. Okay, double check and it goes. You have to use the tools and you have to be aware of what is coming. So 4 years ago, this would be a nerd slide. Now, every one of you should be aware of what's going on there with Claude API docs, agent skills, and computer. I mean, what's going on in this world is so crazy. What these agents do. And I mean, you heard everything about agents, agentic AI, everything is changing. What do you have to do? You have to actually build the agent, and you can build the agent. First step, go on social media, create a new account, listen to these really cool people who are explaining how to do it. You can do exactly the same thing. This is from my Nettle account. It's like, look at this. 10 years ago, I was trying to learn coding, but I had so much to do, it was really freaking me out, and now it's drag and drop. You can build agents, pipelines with no code. So it's not the end of the coders, if there are coders here in the room. But you have to deal with this, and you have to actually try and do this. I mean, this is amazing, amazing what you can do with these things. And you probably heard about it. OpenClaw, how old is OpenClaw? 3-4 months? OpenClaw was the first proof that one person can build a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, it's not so easy because Peter Steinberger actually sold a company for a few $100 million 4 or 5 years ago. He was aware of these things. He was deep in this, and he failed, I mean, 45 times. And then came OpenClaw, and it changed the world. And probably you heard OpenClaw yesterday or today, but you can't underestimate what's around OpenClaw. If you saw Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, who is leading the game in this whole chip area, building the AI supercomputers, he brought up Peter Steinberger and built NemoClaw, because OpenClaw, I know everything, especially in Germany and Europe. With all the data, they built NemoClaw, which you can use as a company and which is dealing with all the safety and security concerns. And there are the first people, I mean 3 or 4 months old, and the ones who actually worked with OpenClaw from the very beginning, tried it, installed it, and went with it. Companies are paying up to $6,000 for people who install OpenClaw in the company. I mean, this is crazy. What can you say to students right now who are in school and ask, do I have to take the Abitur? Or should I double check OpenClaw every day, go out and make millions by helping companies install OpenClaw? It's freaking me out. And AI agents will own 60% of software economics by 2030. I think this is actually a bit low. It affects everything. So if you hear AI agent or agentic AI, and this morning someone asked, who has built his own agent? Who has his own agent right now? So everyone should have an agent. It's easy. And if you say, I don't know how to start and where to go, use the new device. If you use the new device, when you don't use the new device, go to your social media account and look up how to do this. You will get the answers. You will quickly be able to install an agent. And this is the first move. You should have run up to 10 agents who are doing stuff for you, because this is happening right now. And I know the time question. So less time, more action. I know, where do I have the time? What should I do? I have to go to work. I have to study. I talk a lot in universities right now. I know we have to do an exam by next week and we do this and that. I say, look up your schedule in a day. Then look up, what is your screen time and what do you do with your screen time? How long do you spend your time on TikTok Reels? And what do you consume on these platforms and what else do you do during the day? And I guess you can spend 30 to 60 to 90 minutes actually dealing with those things. I recommend doing this. And here is the choice of tools. Who is using Notebook LM? Oh, good. Everyone who is not using Notebook LM, use Notebook LM. I mean, this tool is freaking crazy. How can I explain it? This is the inside of my account. On the left side, you put everything in like a YouTube talk, a website, PDF, documents, whatever. Then in the background, a RAG system is running. You know, RAG, retrieval, augmentation, generation, everything with the content you put in. Based on that, it's trained. In the middle, you have a chat where you can chat and ask, give me a summary. And the magic is on the right side. I have in this, I don't know, 40 things like PDFs, talks, etc. And Notebook LM creates a podcast episode for me. And it not only creates a podcast talk, it asks you whether the podcast talk should be critical or positive, and you get a 10 to 15 minute podcast episode to implement the knowledge. You get infographics, presentations, and quizzes. In the new feature, you get videos. I mean, ChatGPT just killed the Sora project because it was too expensive for them. But Google, who's behind Notebook, can do everything. And it's amazing how you can learn. I can tell you that. And everyone who's saying, I have no time to watch 10 podcast talks, you can add 10 podcast episodes and get a summary. Give me the 5 key points from these 10 podcast episodes, boom. Give me an infographic. Make me a 5-minute podcast episode from these 10 podcast episodes. This is amazing to learn. And I recommend you to use it because the next 12 to 18 months are changing everything. So do learn, repeat, and build the AI muscle. I mean it seriously. When you leave these conferences, you actually have to, day to day, consistently learn something new about it. You have the amazing tools to do it. I mean it very, very, very seriously. Because, and I talk a lot to real experts who are deeply involved in the game, and there is a percentage chance that it goes really, really wrong. But if you learn deeply about these things, the human factor is that we can lead the AI age, that we can lead the AI, that we as humans, together with AI, shape the future is the key thing. And therefore, again, take it seriously and learn a little bit about artificial intelligence every day from now on. And so, it's your turn. You remember when you were a kid, like Superman. I have 2 wonderful nieces and 1 wonderful nephew, all between 2 and 8 years old. Every day they ask, why? We're so curious to learn new things, not distracted by the old school system. Wake up your inner child, be curious, build your AI muscle, use AI to learn. You reduce distraction, get a new device, create new social media accounts, set up the platforms. Put the big ones like Claude, Gemini, Grok, or whatever you want to use on this, and play with it, learn with it every day. And I hope the world will be fine in a few years. Thank you very much.
That works with our podcast too, right? Like a 3-minute summary.
I could also give you a tip now. Opus clips, you throw it in there, and I don't know, in a minute you get 30 snippets, you can post them, and of course also your podcast. You put that in, you guys talk for 50 minutes, and then, sorry, media computer, you speak eloquently. But you put them in and you get a summary. and you really learn fast. Great! Danke dir.